The American dream just got a rude awakening. Imagine cutting your property's price with 21% just to get a sale. That's the harsh reality for millions in Florida and Texas. As Zillow reveals, property values are dropping by a staggering 21%. This isn't just a number, it's a financial earthquake that's shaking the foundation of the housing market. We are not only talking about homeowners, but buyers, agents, and the entire American economy. So stay tuned as we uncover the reasons behind the crash, review whether these price slashes are confined only to the Southeast, and discuss when, if ever, the market will recover. The cause behind the crash. First things first, what's the fuel behind this economic firestorm? Inventory influx. During the pandemic, as companies slowly opened up to the work from home culture, employees from big cities like New York and LA ditched their condos and smaller apartments for freedom on the sprawling shores of the Southeast. To be exact, Florida had the highest net migration total, with population influx rising above 200,000. And Texas, it followed close with a net total of approximately 170,000. Beside the scenic views, these settlers were on the hunt for lower taxes. Both Texas and Florida don't have individual income tax, and overall low standard of living, which both states possessed, at least at the time. The increasing population meant that home builders and real estate investors had a new opportunity to increase their portfolio. And man, did they rise to the test. In 2021 alone, the state of Florida authorized the construction of over 200,000 new units. But the inventory hike came with a ridiculous price tag. Home prices in Texas climbed by a staggering 30%, while Florida doubled that and saw a price increase of 60%. This greatly hampered affordability and so became the first crack in a crumbling market. First, yet certainly not last. Some offices reopened, calling employees back, dwindling down the demand for housing, but increasing home and car insurance and a tense political landscape are what broke the camel's back. Interviews from NBC depict a rather stormy climate for the Sunshine State. One interviewee states that she's moving back home because, frankly, she doesn't want to lose friends over politics. The worst part, this former resident is selling her house at a $40,000 loss. But she's not the only one who is worried about when the market will bounce back. When will the market recover? Not anytime soon. According to Zillow, more Florida residents are selling their houses at insane discounts. This 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom in Dallas, Texas is selling at a $21,000 discount. This one, a whopping $25,000. And in Texas, the story is no different. Here's a house in Freeport that has been on the market for over a month. It is a nice 3-bed, 3-bath house near the beach. Zillow says the price has been cut by a whopping $25,000. And check out this lake house with 4 beds and 3 baths. The seller has cut the price by $100,000. All these are attempts from sellers to secure a sale as we pivot from a seller's market to clearly a very buyer's market as inventory prices rise to the highest they have been since October 2020. And there are no signs of things getting better. If you caught our video on the biggest real estate crash of the century, then you are familiar with real estate investor, author, and CEO of Cardone Equity, Grant Cardone, who said that we are currently in the greatest, and I repeat, the greatest real estate correction of his lifetime. I will leave a link to that video in the description. Chances are these trends will continue well into 2025 and 26, which could be a big problem for Floridian and Texan real estate agents. But this begs the question, will the rest of the United States housing market crumble too? Are other states affected? Unfortunately, the bubble burst is not confined to the Lone Star and the Sunshine States. Other states are experiencing an inventory influx too, though at varying degrees. If you look at this table from Realtor.com, California, New York, and Georgia are also experiencing inventory increases. For example, in May 2024, California had almost 50,000 active listings. But by July, there has been almost a 10,000 inventory hike. And if you look at the prices, they are steadily declining. In May, the price was close to $800,000. But in July, homeowners had cut prices by almost $10,000. And if we consider the current market trend, it is safe to assume that as inventory continues to flood the market, the home values will continue to nosedive. But it is not all doom. Some states are still on the good end of the spectrum. In fact, Nevada and South Dakota are experiencing a negative sale inventory growth. The sale inventory growth is a metric used to determine the rate at which inventory is growing in a particular area. This negative rate suggests that the number of listings is decreasing, and therefore is a good indicator whether or not house prices will continue to rise or decrease. And if we look at the home value growth rate, Nevada sits at 6%, which is higher than the rate depicted in nearby states like Utah, Oregon, Idaho, and even California. So, should real estate agents be looking for a career change? And if you are in the market for a new home, is now a bad time to buy? The truth is, no one can predict the future. What we know is that data suggests we are on the brink of one of the greatest recessions in over half a century. How can you stay up to date? Well, hit that notification bell and that subscribe button. Do you have any thoughts or questions about this market shift? Please drop them in the comments below. We would love to hear your perspective and keep this conversation going. And remember, staying informed is your biggest defense in these really uncertain times.